Hi, everybody. So here we are at Mark chapter 8, and we start with Jesus. He feels compelled to feed the people that he's been teaching before they disperse. He asks how many loaves of bread that his disciples have, and they say 7, and a few small fish. Jesus takes the bread, says the blessing, and breaks it, and gives it to the disciples, and they give it to the people, and they all eat. Some 4,000 people ate, went on their way, and they had 7 baskets of leftover food. Jesus and his disciples leave on a ship, and they arrive to Dalmanutha. There the Pharisees begin to question him because they want a sign from heaven. They're tempting Jesus. Jesus in return sighs, this time in exasperation, and asks, "Why does this generation seek after a sign?" And then he says, "No sign shall be given unto this generation." Again, they leave on a ship, and the disciples forget to bring bread. They have only 1 loaf. Jesus says, "Beware the leaven of the Pharisees and leaven of Herod," meaning he's warning the disciples against the hypocrisy of the Pharisees and the secularism of Herod. The disciples start to discuss the bread, and then Jesus gets mad. They've gone through 2 miracles of feeding together, yet still the disciples are missing that he is all they need, that he will be able to provide for them. They have seen it, they've witnessed it, especially with the leftover baskets of food. And then he asks, "How is it ye do not understand?" They go to Bethesda at this point, and they meet a blind man. Jesus takes him by the hand and leads him out of the city, and he heals him. He asks him to tell him what he sees. The blind man can see figures, but not clearly. Jesus puts his hands on him again, and this time the man has sight restored. Jesus tells the man to tell no one of it. This is symbolism for the progressive growth of his disciples. Their spiritual comprehension is increasing. Jesus and his disciples leave for Caesarea Philippi, and he asks them, "Who do men say that I am?" And the response from the disciples is John the Baptist, or Elijah, or a prophet. And Jesus asks them again, "Whom do you say that I am?" And Peter says, "You are the Christ," meaning the Messiah, or the anointed one of God, the Redeemer of the Old Testament. Jesus tells them to tell no one of it, and he begins to teach them of what will happen, the first prediction of Jesus' death. Peter rebukes him. This is based off the Jewish line of thought in that day, that the Messiah wouldn't be suffering. Peter can't fathom this line of thought. Jesus rebukes Peter in turn, saying that Satan will draw forth actions from man that are being worshipped, but we need to worship the things of God. Jesus opens his teaching to the people and tells them, and his disciples included, to deny themselves and to take up their cross and to follow him, to live for God. If you look out for your life, you'll lose it because you're missing the impact of God. But deny thyself and follow Jesus in the Gospels, and you'll live eternally. You'll save your life. What does it really mean if man gains the world and loses his soul? Jesus asks. What shall a man give in exchange for his soul? If a man is ashamed of Jesus, his word, then Jesus will be ashamed of them when he returns in the glory of God the Father with his holy angels. Hi, everybody. That is the end of the study portion of Mark 8. I do feel like it was pretty enlightening as far as, again, showing the emotional range of Jesus, especially when he gets upset with his disciples about the bread. I'm sure at that point it had to have been frustrating because they've gone through 2 tremendous events where they've been able to provide for so many people. So when it's just their own little sector, like the disciples and Jesus himself on the ship, and they start to talk about how they don't have any bread, Jesus just seems over it. Like, how can you not realize what I'm here to do, that I am here to provide for you? As we finish for the day, I just wanted to say, may God bless Pope Benedict on today, his burial day. And I hope that you all have a great day. And I will see you tomorrow, where we go through Mark 9. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.